No, you would start the day and 6 p.m. was your deadline, or 6:07 if you were in the B block or whatever it happened to be. But it was like you had a deadline. So I very much looked at the content I was creating at that time of like, well, I've got a deadline. Like when I did the interview with Chris Jericho in the backseat of his car, which was right after he signed with AEW, and that video ended up getting well over 1 million views. We were editing that as we were driving. I drove 5 hours to do that interview and 5 hours back. We were editing the interview on the way back. The laptop died. So then we stopped at a service station just to plug in and render the video so that by the time we got back to my house and had internet, we could upload it. And it's just, I think it's that television news mentality of like, let's just get it out there. We've got a deadline. Let's hit it.
Oh man. How's Jericho?
He's great.
Is he great?
Yeah.
That's the interview for me that will validate this entire show for me. He's like literally the reason I wanted to do a podcast.
Really?
He's probably the first guy, because this was like during the whole like list era. Because I was in high school and it's like him and Kevin Owens. He's like, you just made the list. I'm like, this is awesome.
It was really good.
But I just remember thinking like, oh, he's also the front man for a rock and roll band who goes on tour almost every year. He's also a podcast host. He's also an author. I'm like, he was the first person to really teach me growing up, just watching him, just being like, oh, I can do multiple different things if I want to. I don't have to do one thing. Because my main goal was to work for ESPN one day, you know, which I'm able to do now. But like, I'd rather have my time and do all of this other stuff. Like he was the first guy where I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a podcast and we're going to get him on the show.
Wow.
So that's one.
I hope it happens for you.
I hope it does too. You know, the more people you meet, the more people
it's possible.
He's promoting so much. I think he just came out with like an NFT book that he's promoting. It's like, as long as you have an audience, it's like, oh, you find a way.
The great thing about Chris Jericho is, of course, anyone can write a book. Of course, anyone can start a podcast. Of course, anyone can be in a rock band.
Yeah.
But he's doing it at like the top level. Mm-hmm. So it's the idea that not only can you do all of these things, but you can also be good at all of these things. And that's where I'm like, man, he's one of those people that just like, he just dreams big.
The master of reinvention too.
So good.
Like you want to stay in the entertainment industry, you got to reinvent yourself. Like he's done it so many times and has done it so well so many times. And there haven't been too many duds.
He's been so intentional about it. He told me that his real inspiration is David Bowie, who reinvented himself for every album. And he said that when he came back after his big hiatus from WWE and he was back as like suit and tie Jericho, he was like, I just want everybody to know I'm not Y2J. And he told the announcers, like, don't refer to me as Y2J. I'm not Y2J anymore. I'm this new character. I'm Chris Jericho doing this new thing. And that's a really intentional and very interesting thing, because how many wrestling conventions have you been to where there's a person sitting there and they're still doing their shtick from the 80s or 90s? And it's like, I get it. That was the thing that got you over. But like, Chris Jericho has proven that like you can get over in multiple different ways.
I mean, he could have stayed in his one gimmick too. Like the fact that he's never gone back, and granted in AEW it's different, but like if he went back to WWE one day, they'd be like, oh, bring back the list. And he's always been like, no, like that was 2016 Jericho. He could easily bring that back and it'd be the #1 thing on television every week.
He's one of the greatest of all time. And it's like the fact that he's still doing this now in his 50s, it's so impressive.
Yeah, that's definitely one. Do you have any more, like you've interviewed everybody. So like, do you have any more dream interviews that are in reach? Because I know there's probably a few that are like Vince McMahon, I've heard you say.
That's a big one.
That's one that might be out of reach. But like never say never, he's back. So
that's out of reach, I think.
Do you think? Not with that attitude.
That's right. Yeah, I like that. I thought he was never going to do another interview. And then he did the thing with Pat McAfee, which was such
perfect timing.
It was such great insight into his life too.
Like, oh, this guy's actually a decent human being.
Yeah, and I think what's so interesting about Vince is he's kind of the Wizard of Oz. Like we kind of just see him as this big figurehead. There's obviously a man behind all that.
Yeah.
And I'd be so interested. I want to just dig below the surface a little bit with Vince.
Oh my God.
Like what's Vince McMahon's workout routine look like? I'd love to hear that. Like what's his favorite movie? Does Vince McMahon like pizza? What's Vince McMahon's favorite pizza topping? Like this stuff's really interesting to me because everything else that he wants out there is already out there.
Yeah.
So obviously, Vince, I would love to interview Christopher Nolan.
Oh, that's a good one.
I am blown away, right? Like every film that he has is a masterpiece. And I'm also fascinated by his obsession with time.
Oh yeah, every single movie.
Every single movie, he plays with time in a completely different way. Like starting from like Memento to what he did with Inception, Interstellar, even Dunkirk, the way that like I'm fascinated by all of that. So I would love a conversation with him. I don't know if maybe that might happen with Oppenheimer. There's a new movie coming out. Yeah, let's put that out into the world.
That one's way more
Nolan.
That one's way more in reach. Do directors typically? I know Tarantino definitely is a part of all the press stuff.
Yeah. If you're big enough, like I did Ron Howard recently.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. So like, yeah, if you're a well-known director, you're for sure doing the press junket. And also, like, I have such a massive respect for Tom Brady and the fact that he's 45, still playing at the level that he's playing at and completely changing the game, breaking his own records. Like, I would love to be able to sit down with him and just be like, dude, what makes you tick?
Yeah, that's a good one too. I don't know how long he's going to continue playing too. Because like he came back this year and it kind of upended his personal life from what we've seen. You know, like you think you want to win. Like when you go out, you want to win one more time.
He's not slowing down.
Yeah.
Like I saw this really interesting YouTube video where it was showing other people that had come out of retirement and like how, it wasn't great.
Yeah.
He came out of retirement and sure they didn't have a winning season, but he had a pretty great season. And it's not like he's slowing down. So,
and they're in too. Like,
yeah,
he could easily run the table and win another one and then hang it up.
He could, yeah.
You've seen it happen before.
So I guess we'll see what happens. But I wouldn't bet against Tom Brady.
So those are your main three then: Vince, Tom.
It changes all the time. Like there's a whole bunch of other. I'd love to have a real conversation with Oprah. I've interviewed her briefly on a red carpet, but I'd love to actually like dig in deep with her. Joe Rogan's fascinated me for the same reason that Chris Jericho is fascinating. Like he's found all the things that he's passionate about, and then he's just really good at them. Mm-hmm. He loves cage fighting, loves mixed martial arts. He's a commentator for the UFC. Incredible.
Yeah.
He loves comedy. Now he's been a comedian for 30 plus years. He loves telling stories and hearing stories and having conversations. Top podcast in the world. Like that's really interesting to me.
Oh my God. Do you have any plans to do any like, because Rogan is someone who's reinvented himself going from Fear Factor to just doing his, like what we're doing now.
Yeah.
You know? Like, have you ever dreamt about doing a specific show with like a specific niche where you're doing something? Like I know they just came out with Barmageddon on USA Network, you know, like something like that where like you bring in celebrity guests and you're playing games or you're doing something, or like even like what Sean Evans does with Hot Ones, you know, like have you ever wanted to do something like that?
100%. But it's just so difficult because the way that TV is now, it's shifted so much. Like most TV hosts now are former athletes or they're actors or there's somebody who has some sort of name recognition. Mm-hmm. And it's just difficult now unless you create the show. And I would certainly love to create a show like that. But if I could like look at TV right now and go, I want that job, I would have loved to host Amazing Race. Like, I think that show is fascinating and it's been on for 100 years now.
Yeah, forever.
Yeah. If you could get in, if you were one of those like old school hosts that got in on The Bachelor, Survivor, Amazing Race, like you're set. You're set. That doesn't really exist anymore. So I think now it's more of like, it's the Mr. Beast model. Mm-hmm. It's the Mr. Beast model of like, all right, I think this is a really interesting show. I'm going to create it myself and I'm going to put it out there. It's kind of what Hot Ones did.
Mm-hmm. And you just become that guy forever.
That's it.
You were that. Like, and I could see you doing like The Bachelor, like Jeopardy, any one of those shows, you know?
I would love to. I still have a real big place in my heart for hosting. Like that was, broadcasting is my first love. And it will always be my first love. It's changed and shifted a lot, the broadcasting model. It's certainly now more like niche casting. Mm-hmm. It used to be like broad, we're going to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. Now it's very niche. Like if you want to just spend the afternoon watching Foo Fighters play Learn to Fly, you could literally just go down a rabbit hole of watching every one of their performances on YouTube. That didn't exist 10, 15 years ago.
I do that once a week. I love the Foo Fighters.
So I think that it's changed and shifted a lot, but I would definitely love to still have a show that you could just tune in on Discovery or Netflix or wherever it happens to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the type of thing that really like, it's just fun, right?
Yes.
Like doing something like that.
Yeah.
And being able to do it in this generation where it's like, oh, there's not really too many producers involved or like there's people in your ear.
Yeah,
it's like, it's yours.
Yeah.
And you're able to put it together with like it's your own thing.
I think I'd have to create a whole new YouTube channel though. Like YouTube has niched down so much more on their niches, which is great. But like my YouTube channel is primarily a lot of long form interviews and certainly primarily a lot of long form interviews with wrestlers. So if I were to put this fun Barmageddon type of show on there, I don't know if it would really hit. So I think it would just have to be like, all right, we create this whole other thing over here.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Oh my God. In the next year or two, or like 5 years down the road, when you're hosting something like that, and we're like, I inserted that into his brain.
I'm hosting a show right now on the Wealth Channel. It's called My Dream Purchase. Because again, hosting's been a huge passion of mine forever. So the show's pretty fun. Like you finally come into the money to buy the thing you've always wanted to buy, whether it's a boat, a house, a dream car, motorcycle, whatever it happens to be. And I show you option 1, 2, and 3, and you pick one of them. And we test drive them. We do the whole thing. So that's been a lot of fun to do. We just wrapped season 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Any cool guests there?
No, they're not like famous guests.
Just like,
but like there was an episode we were like looking at like mansions in Hollywood, and there was one where we were looking at yachts. There's one where it was classic Porsches. So just like really cool items. So you're coming because, you know, how do people spend millions of dollars? Well, this is how they're spending it.
Wow. You got a lot going on, man.
It's been fun. I want more though.
Why? So you want more, you're doing a ton, you're established, your reputation's out there. You're like one of the nicest guys ever. Like, how do you juggle all of it? You know, like even like taking the time to talk to me today. Didn't have to do it, you know?
Oh, thank you for making the time to do this.
I always try to, man. That's the name of the game when it comes to interviewing and doing what we do. Like you got to figure out what works for everybody, right?
The biggest thing is it's MMA. Make myself available.
Yep.
If someone's willing to say yes and you have to fly to Albuquerque to make it happen, or you've got to call in sick to work, if it means that much to you and the opportunity is there, do it. Yeah. If you're willing to do things that other people aren't willing to do, you're going to get things that other people aren't going to get.
Exactly. So like, what was the reasoning for saying yes to me today? Like if it was like my first podcast ever, like, are you one of those guys that would say yes to anybody? Like, here's the opportunity, or does it have to like? I
think if I had the time, like, I think, look, we also both work for Blue Wire, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Jones doesn't hire people that aren't great people.
Yeah.
So yeah, but look, you're very established. You're a great interviewer. The fact that you're sitting here with no notes in front of you is always so impressive.
I've never liked that. I mean, you probably started out that way too, where it's like you have your bullet points and it's just, okay, next question. You're not thinking about having a conversation. You're having an interview, and it doesn't flow.
And I still approach different types of interviews in different ways.